My name is Maze.
We couldn't take him with us. He killed his brother's family.
In other words, too expensive to have with us. Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for my weekly video review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead Season 10C. This is going to be for episode 19, One More.
Evil people aren't the exception to the rule. They are the rule.
Okay guys, just going to do another video for today. This one's going to be doing my weekly review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead Season 10C. Episode 19 this time, One More. So, got a chance to see the episode. Definitely want to give my thoughts on it as our weekly review for this one. This one called One More. So, this is our Gabriel and Aaron episode this week, which of course has been kind of built up for a little while ever since we knew that they were going to be getting their own episode, and specifically when we found out that we were going to be getting the one and only Robert Patrick in this episode. I was really excited to see this episode. Now, that's all fine and good. That's all good, but it's an alright episode. You know, it's an alright episode. It's not anything amazing. I know some people might think like, yo, Dan, no, this was amazing. Amazing. Anyway, so, stupid joke. But anyway, so this episode, I'm just like, I don't know, man. Aside from Robert Patrick, if you take Robert Patrick out of the equation, if you take Robert Patrick away from this episode, what does this episode really have? You know, I don't know. I did enjoy, you know, the banter back and forth between Gabriel and Aaron, but it just wasn't a favorite of mine. It really wasn't. It was pretty good, but it wasn't fantastic. Maybe not even, you know, that good at times, to be honest. So, this episode is a Gabriel and Aaron episode. They are out there. They are basically, you know, they're out there for the community. They've basically been out there for like, I think 2 weeks. Maggie has kind of sent them on this, you know, run to get some supplies. And I really do like the opening scene where you see the flowers as they're killing the walkers and stuff, and the blood's kind of going on the flowers, so they make us look at the flowers, right? So, anyway, so they're killing some walkers, they're out there, that's, you know, kind of this whole thing of like, man, are we gonna find anything, you know? And they're going through some cars, there's, you know, really, you know, just kind of some slow stuff here. I don't mind it, it's just that I'm like, for an episode especially, I'm just like, since we only have 6 episodes, I don't know, I felt like we could have been getting a little bit more than this, but, anyway, so basically they're going there. Gabriel goes to this roof part to check. He sees like these dead bodies and it says like save us and stuff. Some of the stuff we've seen in some of the trailers and all that. And then they want to get, you know, Aaron wants to get back home to Gracie, and then, you know, he imagines that Gabriel probably wants to see Coco as well too. And it's like, you know, just one more, you know. So they go, of course, and you've got this whole thing. They kind of settle down for the night and they kill you know, the boar, which that part, you know, like he kind of comes at Aaron, right? And Aaron's kind of scared. And I love this, right? Because Gabriel's just like, he starts laughing at him, and I freaking love this scene. One of my favorite scenes, actually. He's like, are you done yet? And Gabriel's just like, almost. And he just keeps going, you know? I love that. That part was really freaking awesome. I love that. The whole thing. Gabriel's just like, just laughing for like a good minute straight. Because Aaron just like overly reacts to this, you know, this boar or whatever. And, man, I don't know. That whole scene I absolutely love. Now, we basically get to see them. They're kind of playing some cards. They're kind of doing this whole kind of thing. We got some cool dialogue here. They do like have this like bottle of liquor here. They kind of start drinking. You know, they want to, you know, they don't want to drink too much. And then, you know, Aaron's like, it's been a long day. Let's, you know, let's celebrate. You know. And basically they start drinking, and, you know, they basically get drunk out of their minds. They're basically just kind of laying there on whatever those things are or whatever, and they're just kind of talking. I got Gabriel that talks about his church a little bit, and this scene kind of went on a bit long for me. As you just see the camera just kind of spinning there for like 2 minutes. It's like, man, I don't know. But anyway, so, you know, decent dialogue there. We did have that one part where Gabriel fell in the mud too, so now he's like all covered in mud and stuff. So I thought, you know, that stuff was pretty cool, I guess, but, you know, it's just kind of whatever. But basically, okay, here's when I really like this episode though. So basically, you've got Robert Patrick. He comes in the next morning. They're hungover. You know, he's looking for Aaron. He doesn't know where he is. And you basically have Robert Patrick that shows up. So he's like, how was the boar? Was it good? Yeah, it was good, eh? Yeah, oh yeah, that's good. And at first I'm like, why is he asking about this boar so much, you know? But he's like, you know, I'd like a bite, you know, that type of thing. And basically, we find out that the boar actually, was his, and we have, kind of Maze that, kind of traps Gabriel, makes him sit down. You've got Aaron and stuff like that, and he basically shoots a machine gun, an AK, in the room that Aaron is in, and he basically is like, oh, well, I hope your friend's not dead, let's see if he is. He opens up the door and stuff like that. So this whole part, I love it. I love every last minute of this whole thing when he's just like, you got Aaron, he comes out, you got the blood on his, on his face and stuff. He's tied up. He's got the arm, the spike ball hand, of course. He kind of, lets him know that he has, Aaron. He, of course, brings him out and stuff like that. Talks about kind of the Bibles and how they're his toilet paper and stuff like this. He's like, maybe instead of wiping your ass with it, you should read it. Oh, I read it cover to cover. That's why I wipe my ass with it. So, love that. Love that scene, absolutely. And you've got basically Gabriel and Aaron, and they're kind of, sitting there captive. And then we got Russian roulette. Okay, so here is when I have to give this episode the credit it deserves, though, because this scene, on the edge of my darn seat. I mean, absolutely on the edge of my darn seat. When you've got, and it's not about, will they kill themselves, will they not? It's just when you put yourself in the situation that they're in. When you're watching this episode, and at least when I was watching this Russian roulette scene, I felt like I was there. Like, I was there, and it was going to be my turn next. Like, honestly, that's how much they captured it, to be honest, I was in that mindset where I'm just like, oh, crap, he's going to ask me next, Like, honestly, let me know if you guys know what I mean. Like, it makes you that into it. I just love it. And the part for me is when he's like, okay, Gabriel, you gonna shoot yourself or are you gonna shoot your friend, Aaron? And he doesn't do it. He goes for himself. It doesn't shoot, right? You only got the one bullet. It doesn't shoot. It's an empty one. He slides the gun over. It's Aaron's turn. And he's like, well, don't you want to see your daughter again? Don't you want to see your daughter? And he's like yelling in his face. I'm just like, oh my God, this scene is so intense. And he picks up the gun, right? And he's just like, he's like, he's kind of contemplating. He's like, no, like, I want to see my daughter again, this and that. And then it's like a really quick moment. He's like, okay, 3, 2, 1, it's just like, I don't know, man. That whole scene, love that scene. He pulls the trigger, and you even hear it, like, you can honestly hear in the gun that it sounds like the bullet is actually there, like it's the one that he's about to use. Because Robert Patrick's like, Maze, he's like, oh, well, that's the one that you typically hear that noise when it's ready to fire, right? When the bullet is there. And I'm just like, oh my God. So he's got the gun to his head. They're not going to die. I'm just saying that it was still really intense. And he's got the gun right here, and he pulls the trigger. It's not it. And, basically there's kind of a choice to make, that whole kind of thing. And then Gabriel starts talking with him, right? He kind of tries to talk to him about his brother, who apparently his brother, was a really bad person and all that kind of stuff. We do get a little bit of backstory there. Apparently he does steal the last bit of food from Maze at one part, and and that's what he tells Gabriel, is that, when it comes down to it, people choose themselves. People are selfish, even down to Maze's own family. That's definitely really, it is sad when he was saying that. I did feel bad for him, but at the same time, I'm like, man, you best let them go. So, so that was that. I loved everything about this. And honestly, this scene, it's so good. It's such a good scene. And we find out about his brother. We find out about, honestly, and I know this is going to be the one thing we have to point out. No, he's not a Reaper. He's not a Reaper. He is just a random dude that they run into, that had a brother, that, this whole kind of thing. Now, all right, so we just highlighted, in my opinion, the best part of the episode. The sit down, the Russian roulette, on the edge of your seat. Abso-freaking-lutely. I love every last bit of that. But let's talk about when I have a darn problem with this episode. And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I know they had to do it. But the way they did it, hey, I'm Maze, What? Like, I don't know. As much as I would have loved this scene, it feels so obvious that it's like, it's like they had to get rid of Robert Patrick, Maybe I'm going too overboard. I just felt the death to be way too quick for a character that made that kind of an impact. They should have had it be something major, like they take them down together. Like, somehow Aaron and Gabriel, they take them down, together at some point. Or, it's just this moment where they just go at him or something. I don't know. Packy's dead? I don't know, man. Instant disappointment is really the words I'll use for that. I didn't feel anything for that, aside from just okay, all right, that's it. That's what you're doing? Okay, so I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I was honestly pissed off when I saw that. I was just like, okay, like really? That's it? So I don't know. Robert Patrick, fantastic performance. You know, and I'd like to highlight, fantastic performance. His death, it sucked. I'm sorry, it sucked. So yeah, you know, you guys want to hear my honest opinion? There's your honest opinion for that. I just, I don't know. I could not stand his death. I thought it was so random and so dumb. And honestly, you can tell it's just because they couldn't afford him. And I'm like, man, you could have a better death than that. So, as if things didn't get any worse, okay? So, okay, so here's the other flaw I have with this episode. And this is about the only flaw I have that's left for this review. They show his brother, right? They show his brother. And I'm sure you guys know where I'm going with this. It's freaking Robert Patrick too. Like, I'm just like, are you kidding me right now? So this is the part I remember I warned you guys. I said there's a part that they do in this episode that's very cheap and it's very, very freaking, like, it's obvious. It's painfully obvious. And it's near the end of the episode and it's just him. It's his brother, but they give him this, like, long hair, the beard. You can clearly tell it's him. I'm just like, man, there's gotta be somebody they could have had on, you know, to look like his brother or something like that. And I get what they're doing, okay? And this is where I am gonna have to, you know, kind of focus on the real life part of things. You know, I get why they did it, because it, you know, with the way the world is right now, they don't want to have as many actors as they used to. They don't want to have any more actors than they have to. So what can they do? They can disguise him. They can have him have long hair, try to make it look different. But it just came out as obvious. And I don't know if it's because I know Robert Patrick and I know his work very well from a lot of other projects and a lot of other films and a lot of other things. I noticed it right away and it pointed out to me. And I was just like, oh my God, guys, you couldn't have done something better. Like, I'm just saying. So, anyway, that I had nothing for. I was just like, okay, that's really cheap. And you've literally got the picture of Robert Patrick and Robert Patrick, right? You know, Maze and his brother. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's the same dude. It's painfully obvious. So, I don't know. Did you guys think they did a good job on the brother part of things? Because it looked obvious. It looked so darn obvious, you know? And if you think that looked different than Maze, you probably don't know Robert Patrick well, because honestly, I recognized the dude right away when I saw his brother, and I'm just like, okay, what on earth? So, I don't know. I just don't like that part. I probably never will. It's not a part that I enjoy, and yeah. But in terms of the Maze character, his death sucked. His brother execution and the way they did it just sucked. But you know, the rest of it, his performance, all that kind of stuff, that part of things, freaking A+. Honestly, Robert Patrick, an amazing actor, and he killed it as I knew he would, honestly. And honestly, he was even a little bit better than I thought. He was really darn good in this episode. So, okay, so let's talk about the ending of the episode, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to wonder what I think about this part, the water tower. So at the end of the episode, I kind of figured this episode would end with them on their way back to Alexandria, but no, they're actually keeping the story with them out there for some reason, and I have a gut feeling they could do it where season 11 starts and they're just back at the community and they'll be like, yeah, we didn't find anything on that tower, let's just say it wasn't the most successful trip. Onward and onward, you know? I have a feeling that we may not even see them on this tower, you know? And if we do, I actually am going to be a little surprised. Now, we know what they're setting up, and obviously this is, you know, some comic spoilers for you guys. If you guys don't want any comic spoilers, skip ahead of the video about 30 seconds, okay? So I'll give you guys the chance to do that, okay? So skip ahead about 30 seconds of this video. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, obviously the water tower, Gabriel's comic death. We know that's what they're doing. They're trying to kind of, you know, foreshadow that. And I have heard some people that think that could it be Aaron that takes that instead? And I'm just like, man, I don't know. That's really insane, definitely. So, I don't know. That whole part of things, I'm not falling for it. I don't think they would do it this obvious if they're going to actually kill Gabriel off. But again, we'll have to see. So anyway, let's get back to the review. So that is basically it. They go to the tower. We see them get to the tower, and that is how the episode ends. So we don't really see them go back to Alexandria or anything like that. So that is my thoughts on this episode. You know, honestly, I would love to love it. I really would. But in my opinion, this episode, 7.5 is the most I'm going to give the darn thing, honestly. which is still a pretty good rating. I just, it could have been so good. It could have been so good is all I'm saying. So, anyway, guys, that is my opinion. That is my thoughts on this episode, but I definitely want to hear from you guys now in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. Robert Patrick, his performance, and the episode as a whole. I definitely want to hear that from you guys in the comment section below. So, anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching this video. Write your comments in the comment section below. If you guys are new here, click the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my Walking Dead videos. Follow Dave's Walking Dead Reviews, subscribe, guys, and of course, I'll see you guys really soon for another Walking Dead video. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.